Welcome to Hollywood Healing, the podcast inspired by Gemini Near Me app, created to help you understand, appreciate, and care about yourself better every single day. My loyal listener, today I want to share with you something spicy. Through life I wore different names, like chapters of that book. And by the way, I published 4 books under that changed name. Iryna Wood, and even made a few short films under it. That was the creative me, the dreamer, the storyteller, and it took over 10 years, I think. I even had my own logo and slogan and website and everything. And guess what? After Iryna Wood disappeared. Meanwhile, I had another name, my family name, by that time, which I never used. And when I started dating my future husband by that time, I didn't know he would appear to be so. It was my boyfriend, and we never spoke about potential marriage or engagement. But once he told me, because he was always honest with me, "You're not Iryna Wood, you are Iryna Kutsenko." And it sounded so bravely, so honorably, like I'm wearing a beautiful chic dress, being Iryna Kutsenko, being authentic myself. Of course, your papers, your passport, your driving license, they show who you are. But I always thought, because I've been a worldwide traveler and I loved Italy, and lentiggini actually in Italian means freckles. And I was since my childhood ashamed about freckles. But my Italian friends loved it and they always called me lentiggini. So I always thought, that's cool, Iryna Wood. And I loved it and it sounded like Italian name and I felt so European, so cool. Instead of feeling cool as Ukrainian. Now everybody knows who's Ukrainian, what is the Ukrainian mentality, brave, honest. We are fighters and I'm proud to be so. But it is what it is. I've been growing, I've been changing. And my husband, future husband by that time, told me what he told me. And I thought, somehow that moment changed something inside me. Maybe because he saw me, the real one, not the brand, not the stage persona. Eventually, when I became his wife, I took his last name, which we women do. And now I'm Iryna Wood. As you know me through this podcast and all our social media platforms, where I present my business and whole communication with you. And sometimes I still wonder what truly stands behind a name change. Is it an act of self-discovery or rebirth? Numerologically speaking, by the way, if you change your name, you change your destiny. Or maybe it's a quiet form of escape from the past, from pain, from our childhood memories, I don't know, from one we are not accepting inside us. It looks like I came from a very happy childhood. My parents loved each other, they loved me, I never was beaten, nobody screamed at me, so I was a happy kid, but still I was running from something, from real me. Or maybe for some it's a business decision, a marketing move, a name that sells better, speaks easier, sounds brighter, because if you want to be an international star, you should sound very easy, lovely to think about and remember easily without any extra effort. Plus, if you start to do some merchandise and your name is all over the place, you have to be easily pronounced. At least they say so. But I know one thing, with complicated names, like Lamborghini, for example, not Lamborghini this time, Lamborghini. It's so horrible to remember, but since you learn how to say it, you would never take it away from your head. You would always remember it. But for others, it's deeply spiritual. And by the way, when women are getting married and they are taking the husband's name by the tradition, we are taking the karma of ancestors and the line of our dear husband. So that's why it's very important. Of course, follow your gut, be in love, but changing your name, it's a big, big act. And psychologically speaking, they say if you didn't change your name being married, which I never did in my first marriage, they say in reality, you never ever been married on an energetic level. Maybe there is something behind it, so I gave you psychological, spiritual, numerological, different perspectives and standpoints on it. So let's look at one of the famous examples of all time, a legend whose name became a symbol. Marilyn Monroe. I know I use her name again, but she's an outstanding woman and she has so many different sides of hers. So to say today decided to honor her memory again. And she's the woman who became her own myth because she believed in Marilyn Monroe, beautiful lady story. She created herself. She was born Norma Jean Martinson, a shy, fragile girl who grew up in a foster homes and dreamt of being seen. The Hollywood world wanted glamour, not vulnerable but very decisive, sexy, open woman. So she created one. And the studio gave her a name, Marilyn Monroe. So that's like, okay, that's how you look like. You're Marilyn Monroe now. And tomorrow you have to wake up with a new image, new look, new grace, maybe new habits even. I don't know what's related to a name change. Probably a lot of things and puzzles of your image. And that name worked like magic. If we still talk about her, it means something. Marilyn sounded golden, soft, sensual, and Monroe echoed elegance and old money. But behind the light and laughter, Norma Jean still lived. Scared, insecure, craving real love, which never got truly, or at least she thought so and felt so. She once said, "I'm not interested in money, I just want to be wonderful." There are some people, they don't care about the money because probably it's a result of their art. They want to be remembered through centuries, years after they die, and she is. And maybe that's why she was chasing not fame, but validation that her new name could make her worthy of being loved. The transformation brought her fame, beauty, and immorality, but it also buried her true self, the girl who wrote poetry, who longed for calm, who never stopped being Norma Jean. And that's the paradox of name changes. You can rename yourself, rebrand yourself, reinvent yourself, but if you do it without peace inside, you must just be changing masks, not healing yourself. So next time you think about changing something about yourself, your name, your nose, your career, your style, your image, your outfit, pause and ask, am I trying to find myself or hide from myself? Because that's the truth. A name can't create your worth. It can only reflect it. You are who you are, with every name you've ever had, with every story you've ever lived. Learn to love yourself and trust the process. Iryna Wood, founder of the self-help and self-love app Gemini Near Me. Don't forget to download my app, which is always there for you.